Welcome back, fellas, to another day in the NBA. It is Friday, the last day in February, so we're going to be going over our monthly recap as we do every day. It went by fast. I feel like it flew by. February flew by. We had the All-Star break. That was part of it. We had a great run. We had some bad runs. We had some great runs after that. Yesterday, we had a pretty good day. Let's hop straight into the recap from yesterday, Thursday. We went positive 1.91 units, went 3-1 on the day. Obviously missing that Luka play. Yeah, it sucks to see, but it's all right because we're still thriving in the month of February. We are up 7.5 units, 9.30 ROI on the month with a 39, 29, and 5 record. So we're still cruising so far, profit-wise through the month. Again, if we can get near the 10 by the end, so if we nail these plays by tomorrow. But as long as we're positive, it's a good month for us. So we like to keep it positive, like to keep it pushing, like to keep the narratives going as we keep building and building and building on our positive gain so far this season in the NBA. We've been killing it. We've been doing really well. So let's keep that rolling. Again, heading to our last day of February, the slate for these games. We have 10 games on. As you can see, there's a lot of green on the board. We have Denver playing Detroit. Again, probably my favorite game for today. Actually, that's a lie. We have the Trailblazers against the Nets, which on paper looks like a good game, but I think it's just a shitty game to bet on. And then the Cavs and Celtics, that's going to be the game everyone's looking forward to. It's the game I'm looking forward to, the number 1 and 2 seed of the Eastern Conference. Oh, who I think is going to win these? Sorry, I think Detroit covers +1. I think the Trailblazers cover +1.5. I think Cleveland beats Boston +2.5. OKC, the Hawks, I think the Hawks get blown out. I think OKC wins that pretty comfortably. The Knicks against Memphis is another great game. I think Memphis covers the -3. The Knicks have been really shaky recently, so I can't trust them. And then the Raptors against the Bulls. Bulls are favored at -1.5. I think I like Toronto there at +1.5. On the opposite side, the Heat versus the Pacers. It is Tyrese Halliburton's birthday. Everyone's going to be up in arms. I think the Heat win this one at a +3.5 spot. Pelicans on a back-to-back are going to get killed by the Suns. And the Wolves, I'm thinking the Suns suck, so who knows? Actually, Bowl Masterclass, maybe. And then the Wolves on a back-to-back versus the Jazz, and then the Wolves take care of business there. And the Lakers on a back-to-back at -1.5 favorites versus the Clippers. And I think the Lakers can get it done as long as Luka and LeBron play. If they don't play, then I'm leaning the Clippers for sure. That is the slate. I do have 4 plays for you guys today, so let's waste no time and hop straight into them. Starting with the game everyone's going to be looking forward to, which is the Celtics and the Cavs. Donovan Mitchell to go over 27.5 points feels like a lock and stain. To me, Donovan Mitchell has hit this in 13 of the last 14 games versus the Boston Celtics. Everybody knows that by now. Boston, the big thing, this is the narrative. I'm not going to waste your time with any more stats. I can tell you all the stats you need. Right? Boston has allowed last 9 of the last 13 shooting guards to go over this, blah, blah, blah. The main point here that I'm trying to emphasize is Boston has struggled this season, in the later half of the season, especially against the pick and roll. They haven't done as good against the pick and roll ball handler as most other teams would, or how they have in the past. They've really struggled with that this year to find their rhythm, and they've allowed the 3rd most points to it for good reason. They just can't seem to figure it out. And more so or less, Cleveland's the best team we've seen with the pick and roll with the double big men in, no joke, I'm trying to think back, probably since about 2015, 2016, actually probably 2018 with the Pelicans back when they had Boogie and AD. That was probably the last time we saw an offense run like the Cavs are right now. And they are doing it at peak efficiency with the 2 guards, with Garland, with Mitchell. The pick and roll is one of the hardest things to guard when you have such elite players running them. With 2 great big men as well as 2 great guards, it's really tough. And again, Boston struggled versus this entire season. That is why everyone's playing Mitchell points, because Mitchell has a great matchup to do so. Some people like Garland as well. I like Mitchell. I'm leading the points there. I'm not going to waste any more of your time with that. Evan Mobley over 16.5 points is another good line. Again, same concept, pick and roll. Mobley's hit over this line at 8 of the last 10 games this season. He's seen the volume at over 14 shots per game. He saw 14 shots in his past 2 games that he missed this line, shooting 6 for 14 as well as 4 for 14. I don't think he's going to shoot so poorly against Boston this time around. It's kind of 2 outlier games for him. He's normally a pretty efficient shooter. If he gets 14 field goal attempts, I'm going to take this line every single time. Again, only 16.5 points he needs. He's been crushed this over the later half of the season. He's hit the 6 of the last 8 games versus Boston as well. So he's been able to do it versus Boston. Just the past 2 games he struggled. I think those are outliers. Again, a close game, high minutes, high volume. I'm going to take the player like that, especially when I trust him as a player to have some pretty good efficiency there. Our third play is going to be Cade Cunningham to go over 10.5 assists. We're getting this at plus money, so you love to see that value that we're securing. Playing a Denver team that's off a back-to-back, so again, we'd like to take advantage of that from the Pistons side of things. Denver's allowed the 3rd most assists to opposing point guards this season, as well as Cade's hit over this mark in 6 of the last 10 games, averaging over 10.5 assists per game. Cade has averaged 16 potential assists in his past 10 games this season, and Denver's allowed 6 of the last 8 point guards to go over on their assist lines. So I feel like this is a really good spot for Cade, as he's been dishing the rock at a very high level over the later half of the season. He's really turned it on, I would say, since right before the All-Star break and through the All-Star break as well now. Pretty much all of February and later January, he's been really passing the ball at a high level. I think getting at this at plus money feels like a steal with how bad Denver has been versus opposing point guards and in the assist spot that they're at. Even if we look at the last 15 games, they're bottom 11 in the league at defending point guards versus assists. So all season they've really struggled to really cap the point guards and keep them under on their assist line. So I think Cade could have a pretty big day. Again, Denver's also on a back-to-back, so it could be a lot of dishing for Cade. And Cade's just been going off recently, so I want to be a part of that and try to take that at the plus money there. And our last play is going to be Trae Young to go under 25.5 points. I'm on the wrong side of Trae every time, so fade me if you want. But I really like the under here. OKC's allowed the fewest points to opposing point guards this season. They've allowed the 2nd fewest points in the past 7 games. They allowed the 2nd fewest points above the arc, which is where 44% of Trae Young's points come from. Trae has gone under this line in 3 of the last 3 games versus OKC. And OKC is top 3 versus pick and roll ball handlers, which is 38% of Trae's points. They're also top 3 against free throw attempts against opposing point guards. So that's the way Trae sees all of his points: above the arc shots and free throws, above the arc shots and free throws. He has a pretty decent floater game, but I'm not really worried about that when Chet's going to be down there, as well as Isaiah Hartenstein. So I think this is a very good under. And again, like I said earlier in the earlier slate, I think this game could be an absolute blowout as well. The Hawks just don't match up well with OKC right now, and OKC's been rolling. There's a reason they're favored by so much. Both these teams have everyone playing, so again, there's no real injury risk either. It's going to be a pretty high total, but again, I think that's going to be partially because of the blowout. Yeah, I'm leaning definitely OKC to cover and Trae Young to go under on his points line. Just all the stats, all the numbers are pointing to the under, so I'm going to lean that way once again. Those are the last 4 bets of February. Oh, I didn't do the February. Did I do the February recap? I don't fucking remember. I'm forgetting shit now. I think I did. Anyway, that's the last few bets of February. Make sure to like, subscribe, watch the fun shit down below. Try to keep this short, condensed, concise for you guys. Also, I might be starting some preseason MLB stuff, so let us know let me know in the comments below if that's some stuff you want to see, some preseason MLB right before we get to the first few games coming up on opening day. So make sure to let me know what your guys' thoughts are on that. Make sure to let me know what you guys are taking in the comments below. And the best way to support the channel is to like, subscribe, all sort of fun shit. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.